How's it going, Canucks fans? Today I will be reacting to Vancouver's 10th overall pick in the NHL entry draft, Vasily Podkolzin. So the draft started and the Sedins came out and made a speech. They announced that their jerseys will be retired. They're going to have a week dedicated to the Sedins in February. I think that's awesome. It was a great way to kick it off. That was cool. Also, before the draft, I saw on social media, it wasn't shown on TV, but Alex Burrows added to the Ring of Honor. Great addition. So many great moments. Slaying the Dragons, that Game 2 OT winner, and just years of great hockey from him. So great stuff. And then the draft started. So as expected, Hughes goes 1, Kakko goes 2. Unexpectedly, Doc from the Saskatoon Blades goes at 3. And honestly, everyone thought Puljujarvi would go at 3 a few years ago. They took Dubois. People criticized it. And then look how that turned out. Everyone thought Dadino would go at 3 last year. Then the Habs took Kotkaniemi. And Kotkaniemi's been very good for them. And I'm sure if they could redo it, they would take Kotkaniemi again. So, who knows? It took a lot of criticism, that pick. But that might end up being... we might look back in a year and say that was a fantastic pick. So it's too early to really get upset at that. And then at 4... as expected, the Colorado Avalanche take Bowen Byram. At 5, the LA Kings take Alex Turcotte. At 6, this one was not expected. The Detroit Red Wings, Steve Yzerman's first pick as their GM, take from Germany Seider Moritz, which was unexpected. Then 7 was the Buffalo Sabres. They selected Dylan Cousins. 8 was the Edmonton Oilers. They selected defenseman Broberg. And at 9 was the Anaheim Ducks, who selected Zegras. So at this point, I was jumping up and down because I knew that Krebs went into Vancouver, Newhook went into Vancouver, and I like both those players a lot. I like Boldy, and I saw his name linked to Vancouver a lot. And I was just ecstatic because I knew, also Caulfield. I love Caulfield a lot. He scored 72 goals in 64 games at a ridiculous pace. And I was jumping up and down saying that we're going to get one of those 4 players. And all my friends, where I was at a draft party, and they're all Habs fans, were looking at me like, oh my God, this kid, he gets so lucky. The draft bounces his way, and I'm jumping up and down. And they draft Vasily Podkolzin. And initially I was shocked and honestly upset because I had these 4 guys in my mind. I spent so much time, I invested so much time watching videos on them and highlights and games and reading stuff up on them. And I really wanted Caulfield. I know he's small, but he's so skilled. And I think Craig Button said it best when he said that even though he's small, his skill is elite. And it's on a even though he was part of that 5 to 15, all those players are kind of similar in terms of skill, in terms of I guess where they're supposed to rank in terms of how they'll play in the NHL. Caulfield was on another level in terms of his skill, and I really wanted him even though he was short. I liked Krebs, Newhook, and Boldy. I was just excited for one of those guys, and when I saw Podkolzin, I was initially disappointed. And when the first thing I heard is that he's going to be spending 2 years in the KHL, I was surprised. I was not surprised, sorry about that, but I was just upset, and I was surprised with the pick. But after going to do my proper research on Podkolzin, taking time to think it over, I think it's a good pick. I think we might look back at this draft and call it one of the steals of the first round because Podkolzin was ranked at number 3 all season long. And the reason he dropped was, as I talked about in my video yesterday, there's kind of a stigma around Russian players and the concept of them going back to the KHL. And I think that 2 years in the KHL scared people. And he dropped. And first of all, he's a decent-sized body, unlike if we would have taken Caulfield. And he has so much upside. Watch the highlight, just take a minute of your day and watch the highlight package that the Canucks posted for him. It is disgusting. It is so good. He had so many ridiculous dangles and skill, and he's not the kind of guy that's going to get pushed around in the NHL. And I saw a great tweet from one of the Sportsnet 650 guys that Tarasenko had a very similar thing happen to him in his draft year, and look how it turned out for them, for St. Louis. And now he just won a cup, and he was a huge part of that playoff run. And just think about these four guys, man: Pettersson, Besser, Horvat, and now Podkolzin. As I mentioned in my video yesterday, this is the start of the army that Botchford was talking about. And I think it's a good pick, honestly. And I was initially disappointed with the Pettersson pick for the same reason, because I spent so much time doing research on guys like Glass, Middlestat, Velarde, and I went into the draft in my mind thinking, like, we're going to take one of these three guys. And I would have been fine, I would have been excited, and then they took Pettersson. And I was a little upset because I did so much time thinking about those guys. But obviously now Pettersson is the gem of this rebuild, and Benning made a great decision. So I honestly trust him a lot with drafting, and once I did my research on Pettersson, very similarly to Podkolzin, I started to like him. And I'm not worried about the whole KHL thing. Brian Burke said that it could even end up only being 1 year, if after his first year, even though St. Petersburg is known to be tough to negotiate with, we can still potentially get him after 1 year. And he has so much skill. He has grit and upside, and he can score goals. He's a winger, and this team desperately needs good wingers because we know how shallow we are. We only have Brock Besser on the wings. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Podkolzin pick. Let me know what you think. If you like it, if you're not happy, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Tweet me at @FanVancouver. And so the draft is still going on. Been anxiously waiting for a trade all night, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen. I got really excited, honestly. Canucks Twitter was blowing up like I've never seen, man, about Tyson Barrie, because Pierre McGuire tweeted out at the start saying he'd be surprised if Barrie is not a Canuck by the end of the night. And someone else tweeted out something who said that he had sources saying that a deal is going to be done by the start of the draft. So I was so hyped for that, especially when Colorado took Byram. But so that might still happen tonight. I'm not counting it out. Unlikely. But yeah, so if that happens, I'm definitely filming another video tonight. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, and go Canucks go.